And I mean, I still get nervous sometimes before big podcast interviews as well. Like
Yeah.
the one with Lenny recently. Before that, I was like, I'm pretty nervous right now. Um, so one of the distinctions that I like to share, which I think is very helpful, is this idea between top-down versus bottom-up approaches.
Right.
So what that means is top-down is generally mind-based or cognitive-based exercises or reframes, which help you to kind of let's say like maybe reframe like I'm not feeling nervousness, it's excitement, like I'm feeling excitement, and that type of thing, or like I'm nervous because I care so much about this, and so it's like a positive reframe to make it a good thing, and those can certainly be helpful. um what I found, and this is somewhat backed up by the neurobiology as well, is that bottom up practices, which involve using the body to change the state of your nervous system, which then impacts the thoughts and feelings that you're having. So, a typical example would be doing a breathing practice where the exhale is twice as long as the inhale. So, that might
Okay.
be inhale for a count of four, hold for a count of four, exhale for a count of eight, for example. And that will very quickly activate the parasympathetic nervous system and really help to kind of ground some of that nervous energy that you might be experiencing. So you can stack many of these different bottom-up practices. Another one that is popular with my students is vu hum, where you take a full breath in and you make the sound vu and then hum all the way to the end of exhale. And that has a number of effects like releasing nitric oxide in the system, which is also a vasodilator, which helps with the downshifting. It's also a long exhale. There's also things like you can kind of play with your awareness, so bringing your awareness to your hands and your feet, or expanding your awareness. This is a technique from the Alexander technique. So kind of being aware of the space behind you, to the sides of you, above you, below you. Often when we get nervous, our kind of field of awareness gets very narrow and contracts, and that increases the sense of like anxiousness. And so by relaxing and expanding that, there's more a sense of spaciousness and ease, which can be helpful. But I'd say most of all, it's a process of listening to your body and then experimenting and trying different things and seeing what works for you, and really developing, particularly, if you have high stakes sales calls on a regular basis, maybe you create like a little ritual or a little routine of yourself before these sessions. So maybe it's like you go for a walk, you do a little bit of stretching, you think about what's going to happen, visualize it, and then before you go in, you do 5 minutes of breathing and humming. And then when you actually get on, that energy is there, but it's very much grounded.